Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Penn State Field Hockey Zoom. We got head coach Char Morett-Curtiss with us again. Char, thank you for joining us on a Wednesday.
I know. I'm happy to be here. Just a really exciting weekend that we had, and now we're getting ready for Big Ten play, so it's going to be a fun week ahead.
Yeah, let's roll right into that. You know, you're opening up Big Ten play at – there are 9 teams in the conference who are good, and Michigan is obviously one of them. And we're going to their place Friday night. Talk a little bit about wrapping up a 3-weekend road swing. How's it been going? How's the team holding up with kind of all that travel? And what's the attitude like?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we just gained a lot of confidence this past weekend. Both teams gave us just some great competition. Starting at St. Joe's, there was just a great crowd there. We had a lot of our, our fan base, they follow us very well. So it just was a back and forth game for 60 minutes, and really pleased with the way we kept our composure at the end of the game. We're able to finish that win out. I wouldn't say that it was our best performance of the season, but from that we grew and we gained a lot of confidence going into Delaware. We made some adjustments just in our positioning and structure and really came out strong against Delaware and knocked in 2 goals early. Even though we gave up 2 goals throughout that third quarter, our team really never gave in. They just kept attacking, and I think that we grew throughout the game, and again grew with confidence, and we're able to close out a weekend with 2 wins on the road. And knowing now that we're going into Big Ten play, there's that added excitement. It's Michigan, it's a big game. I really don't feel that our players are fazed about having to get back on the road again. I think they're really excited about starting Big Ten competition.
Talk about the Wolverines. Rankings aside, always right there with us in the battle for one of those top spots. This is big for a lot of reasons. NCAA tournament, obviously, Big Ten tournament seeding. This is a big, big game.
Yeah, every game, just like you said in the very beginning, every team 1 through 9 is so competitive within our conference, and we know that it's always going to be a battle. We've been able to scout Michigan in a way that we both played against a very good Louisville team. We both, lost 2-1. So we both learned from that game. And I think that going into Friday's game, both teams are going to make some adjustments this week. And hopefully, it'll be, a great competition. We expect that always at Michigan.
What do we know about Cornell? You're playing Cornell on Saturday, so it's a neutral site game. That game's actually going to be going on while the Michigan football team is playing, same time. What do you know about Cornell? Tell us.
Yeah, we don't really know that much about them. Their coach Andy Smith has been there about, I think, 3 or 4 years. But they just are very well coached, a solid team in every position. For us playing back-to-back could present a little bit more of a challenge than we're used to, but I really feel confident with the conditioning program that we've had in place when the season started. So I'm not that concerned about the back-to-back play. It's probably just gonna be a different style of play than Michigan. Michigan's a very physical team in a good way. It's a Big Ten, competition is the way we play. So going into an Ivy League conference and playing, I think it's going to be a little bit different tempo of a game, but exciting all the same.
So we're going to be joined today by Gemma Punch, a senior who's been really playing well for you this year. Talk about a little bit about Gemma, kind of where she was when she got here to where she is now, and in particular, how she really came back. COVID hit her, the breakups and how things were working during COVID really hit her hard because she's from Australia, and she had to be able to get here and all those things going on. Talk a little bit about how you've seen Gemma progress to where she is now.
Yeah, well, what we initially liked about Gemma was her speed and her skill around the ball. I think it was an adjustment for her coming from Australia that first freshman year. We had a lot of freshmen that year as well. So our team as a whole had lost 8 starters. So it was a real, almost rebuilding for us in a way. So I think she was just a part of those growing pains, but was always willing to learn and open to coaching. And so her sophomore year, we saw more playing time for her. She just really opened up with her speed and her skill. And what really impacted her with COVID as well was that she was not able to come. She wasn't even on campus that fall.
Yeah.
When we didn't play, she decided to stay home, which was smart. You know, everybody was taking classes online anyway. So
Right.
she those classes online. It was really challenging just because of the time difference. But she came back that January and was able to produce for us that spring when we competed. And then you know, back again in the fall last year. This year, we just see a different Gemma. She's just more confident. We're able to play her in the midfield, on the line. She is very important to our press, so she can score. She's got a lot of composure on the field. So I just really see her game maturing as she has as well.
Awesome. Well, we are joined now by our special guest, Suzanne Morrison. Hi, Suzanne. You're muted.
Hi, everyone. How are
Hey.
you? Hi,
Hi,
Char.
welcome.
Hey,
Suzanne was,
nice to see
Suzanne
you.
was
You
Suzanne
too.
Bisignaro when she was here, second team All-American, and played on 4 of the greatest field hockey teams Penn State has ever
Oh,
had.
boy.
He was over 70 wins in 4 years, NCAA tournament every year, a couple 4th place finishes. Suzanne, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Sure. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for including me.
Absolutely. So first off, tell us, Suzanne Morrison now. Where are you? What are you doing? What's your life like?
Okay. So I am an attorney. I'm a prosecutor with the Office of Attorney General. So that's what I do for a living, criminal prosecution. I have 2 kids that are both in college. My daughter plays field hockey at Westchester. My son plays football at IUP. So this fall is a little bit busy but a lot of fun to go watch them play. But you know, I just looked at I was just calculating how many years. I can't imagine. It's been 30 years, Char, since we played for you, and since I graduated. So I mean, it's really hard to believe it's been that long. I feel like, I mean, Penn State field hockey and Char have been such an amazing part of my life and who I am today, that it's really hard to believe it's been that long, since I played. So.
Yeah.
Well, Char, what memories about Suzanne in particular when she was a player here stand out?
Yeah, well, like, as I mentioned to Pat earlier, Suzanne's a part of my first recruiting class here. So coming back to Penn State, trying to just get the program going. I recruited Suzanne and her sidekick buddies, Eleanor Stone, Michelle Brennan, Stacy Rucci, and those 4 players were the foundation of that success in the years to follow. And, Suzanne being a lawyer, not surprising, because Suzanne always, had a stubbornness about her that I loved, because she brought it to her game. She brought it to the field hockey field. She just was stubborn in how she played and gritty in how she played and just wanted to win. She had like this amazing competitive spirit. And that's why I could see her, going into a courtroom, and I would want her on my team for sure. But we laugh a lot with that class, because, at that time I was young as well, and they've just really grown into being really, really, really good friends of mine. They're my friends.
Right.
They played for me, but we were really close, and love when we all get together, and had the bunch of them down in Key West for a long weekend, and it just was story after story. But probably one of the most famous Suzanne stories is,
Oh boy, here we go.
Suzanne just would get after it, and I'm like, she just wanted to go get the ball, and she was a right wing, like I said, very feisty, and she would never break down when a defender had the ball. She would like fly at the defender, and like halftime, throw her body at the defender, the ball, and I'm like, Suzanne, you've got to break down. Time and time again, you have to break down. She would just look at me with this, she'd give me this look like, I don't believe you, I'm going to do it my way. And I remember just taking her stick, and I just throw it. I'm like, okay, do it your way. And I just sticks on whoop, 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 whoop.
60 yards that stick flew. 60 yards. Char's arm, she just winged it. It did. It was like a boomerang. It just went flying.
Yeah.
And I was like, woo.
Yeah.
That is not surprising.
And I picked it up, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to do it Char's way.
Yeah. But just even with Suzanne being this passionate player, she just had this amazing family. So when I recruited her, I had all these letters. I just gotten the job and she was a senior in high school, and I got letter week after week. That's when you really got the handwritten letters, and just knew that she was this special person that we wanted to recruit. And I made a home visit and really enjoyed meeting her parents and her sister, and they as well became really, really good friends of mine. Her sister, Jenny, ended up playing for me, and Tracy ended up coming to Penn State, and her brother went to Penn State. And so there's just so much love that I have for Suzanne and her family. They've really been a very important part of my life and my journey here at Penn State. Great seeing you. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Char. I'm so proud of you too. And just so proud to have been a part of this program. And like I said, there's a few people in my lifetime that stand out as people that have impacted who I am to this day in my old age here. And Char is one of them. I mean, and it goes so far beyond the field. And I think, as players, you don't realize that when you're in your 4 years, but, Char just, she has taught me how to be who I am in all aspects of my life. She just had an amazing impact on me, and I know my teammates as well. And we're coming up for alumni weekend, so can't wait to see you and see everybody and watch the team play.
Yeah, Elle just texted me the other day. So
good.
Yeah, excited to have them back, because like I said, they're a very, very special class. Yeah, for sure.
Before we let Char grab Gemma, let's dig into that a little bit. At what point after you got Suzanne, after you got left Penn State, and once you got into your professional career, was there a point that you remember perhaps thinking, this is a moment that I am leaning on something I learned from Char and my time at Penn State field hockey?
Gosh, it's really, there are so many moments. It's really any moment where I have any doubt that I can do something hard, any doubt that I can get through something that, seems insurmountable. It's that drive, that competitiveness, that support, that, just Char there trying to get you to be your best. And we were all different. We were all different players. We all had different strengths, different, buttons that, needed to be pushed. And Char just knew how to motivate each one of us to be our best. So I think it was also trying to figure out, okay, what are my strengths? And I wasn't the flashy, fancy player, but, my strengths are, I am going to work my tail off. I'm going to do, everything I can to help this team and to, try to reach our goals. And so, it's not going to be pretty all the time, but it's going to be everything I have. And I think, Char just, I anytime, like I said, that there's a challenge in front of me, and in professional life, personal life, I know I can get through it because, Char just believed in you. She knew you could do it, and she supported you and encouraged you and pushed you to your limit to make you your best. And so it's one of those things that, so many times, it's countless times throughout my life, I have, thought to myself, Char's always like on my shoulder, keep going, you can do this, keep working hard, and you'll get through it, whatever it is.
I think it was like Suzanne might have been the first that said, I know I can get through child labor. I got through preseason.
Yeah, no kidding. And back in those days, it was like crack of dawn till end of the night, 3 a day for what seemed like months, but I'm sure it wasn't that long.
No, but, it was. You guys were just you're so resilient.
Yeah. But I loved every minute of it. It just was the greatest experience of my life, and just the rewards of the people that, I took with me, Char, my 3 besties, we and then Sharon and Herlacher and Shell Freitas Tambroni, we have a group chat, PSU besties, that we're just always in contact, and all of our other old teammates too. And it just, it's a lifelong, it lives in you for your life. And it's because of Char. I don't think every program's like that. It's because of Char. And I've said that my whole life. It's, the coach, makes the team special. And Char certainly did that.
It's a special program, and it's
Yeah.
important that, when you bring the players into it, that they realize that. But Pat, I do want to tell a story. I know, like,
Awesome.
the flying stick story is pretty funny, but one of the other stories that really comes to my mind is we were playing at Princeton, and we were, knocking on the door, and we weren't, it was tied game. I think there were like 20 seconds left in the game, and we got a corner, and Suzann never took the corner shot. Never. And I'm like, just give the ball to Suzann, hit the ball out to Suzann. And she's and she gets it. And yeah, right. And she gets it, and she shoots, and she scores. And her dad is on the sideline, and we don't really notice it till afterwards we see the film, and he's actually now on the field, jumping up and
down, all the way to the center where the ball starts on the 50. He jumped up and down, up and down.
No.
He thought the game was over.
Yeah.
There were 17 seconds left, I think.
Yeah. But
it was parents. What are you going to do?
I know.
Yeah. And he just had a birthday, and he's still, someone who's very special. Our parents are very, very special. We went to Ireland with Suzanne's sister, Jenny, and then Suzanne and her besties. We went to England and Holland. So, it's been a lot of fun journeys along the way.
It sure has.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's outstanding. Char, thank you so much. If you want to go ahead and grab Gemma, Suzanne, hold tight. We're going to bring Gemma in, and let the two of you connect.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Love ya. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye, Char. See ya.
And we'd like to welcome senior Gemma Punch now, today's Field Hockey Zoom. Gemma, she's been here now her 4th year. She is a two-time academic All Big Ten. She's played in almost 60 games and started well over half of those. It's become quite a scoring threat for us this year. And she's one of those players who we've seen her game evolve and mature drastically, particularly over the last 2.5 years. So Gemma, having a great season, and welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, absolutely. I'd like to introduce you to Suzanne Morrison. And Suzanne was, as we stated before you got here, one of the Char's first recruiting class and part of the 4 best teams in a 4-year span Penn State's ever had. And I would like the 2 of you to say hello real quick. So Suzanne, Gemma, Suzanne.
Hi, Gemma. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. It's lovely to meet you.
I know you too. Number 23. I love it.
I'm carrying it on.
Oh, I appreciate it. I love it. Every time I watch a game, that 23, whoever's wearing that number all over the last 30 years, I always look and think, there's my girl.
Well, we want to let Suzanne get going because she's already spent some time from Char with Char. But before she left, Gemma, I wanted her to perhaps take a moment and talk to you as a person who's a senior, but certainly could come back for another year if you choose to, because you have the COVID year.
Yeah.
To maybe give a look back on her Penn State career and things maybe you as a current player might not want to let slip by you, things that are easy to overlook when you're in the mix, that you want to not look back on in retrospect and go, darn it, I wish I'd done that, or wish I'd done this. So Suzanne, any advice for a current new line?
Sure. Well, it really, and I'm sure you do this, but just enjoy every moment. You're in your senior year, or, potential an extra year, but just enjoy every moment. It's such a special time. And I know when you're in it and you're working hard, and every day that grind of, you're going to classes and you're running to practice, and then you're, going to study hall, and you're trying to juggle everything, and it seems crazy, but those are the best times and the best memories that I have. I mean, those 4 years are really special. And it's funny, we were, when Char was on, we were talking, it's, not every program is like Penn State. I mean, it's all I ever knew because that's where I went. But in the years to follow, I've been involved in coaching, and also my daughter plays and in college. And so I've seen other programs and stuff, but I tell you what, Char makes Penn State field hockey such a special program that I don't know that you see everywhere else. And, she just brings an element to the game, to the team, to the friendships that will last your whole lifetime. And it's a special 4 years. She's a special coach. It's a special program, and just enjoy it. And I think about my life after Penn State field hockey. I didn't play again. I had my knee, a ACL tear that I sat out for 2 weeks, and then I was like, I'm still playing in my junior year, and I played the rest of my 4 years there, but I never got it repaired. So you know what? I never played again after college. Never. I coached, but I never played again. And you know what? It's the funny thing is that what you bring with you for the rest of your life, though, is not necessarily the field hockey. That was what brought us all together, but it's those friendships. My teammates and Char and the friendships that we made there, to this day, 30 years later, they're still my best of friends. So just enjoy every moment of it, because it truly is special. And I talked a little bit earlier too that Char is an incredible coach of field hockey, which we all know, of course. But what you'll learn from Char that will apply to the rest of your life, professionally, personally, is something that over the years to come, you'll learn to appreciate. When you're in it and you're playing those 4 years, you may not recognize it, but she has had such an impact on the rest of my life, not just those 4 years. So it's special, and I'm so glad to meet you. And I'm coming up alumni weekend, so I can't wait to see you play in person. And just good luck, the rest of your time there, and enjoy it.
Thank you so much. Gosh, I was getting emotional just thinking about how it's all it's my final year, and been years, and I can just resonate so much with everything you were just saying about the friendships and all of that. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking time out of what is, I'm sure, a busy day.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you in a few weeks for alumni weekend.
I do too. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Go
Thank
get 'em,
you.
Gemma.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Gemma. So let's talk a little bit about Big Ten starting on Friday. I mean, this is the end of a long road swing, given it's 3 weekends, but you know what? It's Big Ten time. You guys got to be lively and ready to roll. What are the thoughts heading into the Michigan game?
Well, them being the rankings just coming out yesterday and seeing that they just won about below us. It's 7,
6 and 7. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough challenge, but we are very prepared, whether it be on the road or at home. We're just so ready to start this and really see where everyone falls in place, and knowing that other teams are also in the Big Ten will be playing against each other. So it's just at the moment really great vibes throughout practice, in the locker room, before practice, in the weight room. I know Char's very pumped. We're just kind of easing into it this week to really just allow us to bring it all. And hopefully these past few weeks have prepared us for this. And as Char's mentioned many times to us after games and at practice, we're just on an upward trend right now, and she's really happy with where we're at. So yeah, it's just really good vibes around the team at the moment.
2 games in 2 days. So it's going to be that, this can mirror Big Tens a little bit. You got Cornell on Saturday. Do you do anything differently here this week of practice to prepare for that back-to-back game, that 2 games in roughly 28 hours?
Yeah, definitely. So practice usually is a little bit heavier in the beginning of the week, but we've decided to just taper it in a little bit. Not necessarily practice less, but just a shorter period of time, but still intense, so that we're able to take on the load that we're about to endure with 2 games within 2 days. And also just our support staff with Karen and Nick, our nutritionists, just making sure that we get the nutrition we need, the food, and hydrating, so that we can withstand apparently it's going to be a little warm this weekend as well during the games. So just having lots of people remind us that with all these little things, they add up to the big things and allow you to perform at your best. So yeah.
Yeah, we've developed a little bit of a personality trait this year that is encouraging to see. We'll take a punch, and we don't, as a team, seem to get phased. I mean, we've fallen behind early and just kind of kept going, or we've gotten up and then had a team come back, like at not this past weekend, but the weekend before. We just kind of keep rolling. Are you seeing that on the field where, a team will score or a few things will go wrong, and as a team, we just seem unfazed?
Yeah. So I feel like since I've been here, this has been an occurring thing. We like to stress people out more than we have to by allowing the opposition to come back or score first, but then we end up on top, which at the end, which is great. So I feel like the team is I feel like the practice and all of the hard work that we put in just like prepares us for those moments, and knowing that like, okay, we just have to lean on this hard work of like practice this week, practice of this past month, preseason, and like summer and all of that stuff. And I think we just know, like, we don't have to get stressed about it because we know that we put in this hard work, and in like that moment, we just know that we're going to go forth and like, okay, they've scored on us, but that's okay. Like we still have however long it be left of the game to come back up on top, or show them all of our hard work and how far we've come. So yeah, I would say the team is usually pretty calm in those moments, and maybe not Char or the
No.
people watching on the sideline, but we know within ourselves that we have the grind to come back and lean on what we've done in the past couple of weeks to finish that game. So yeah, no.
Well, before I let you go, I wanted to ask you a question kind of about your game specifically. You tell us, because you're right there in the middle of kind of who it is to be Gemma Punch 2022 and how you're playing. What's different? Do you see something different? Is there something specifically that you've noticed? You are more involved offensively than you have been. Is it positioning by the coaches, or has something kind of clicked? You tell us.
It's funny that you asked that, because I was just saying to my parents the other day, I was like, I don't know what it is, but I feel dangerous on the field. Like,
it's exactly it.
I just feel like I finally gained like confidence within myself to just go out there and like give it my all, and like, which has been very beneficial for the beginning of my season, because I don't know, I just feel more of like a fire inside of me to just really go out there for my teammates, our coaches, and like, like if I'm putting all this hard work in, then why not go out there and just like give it my all, and like all I can do is my best, and that's what I expect from everyone on my team. So yeah, I guess just going in at practice and like taking every day as it comes, and just knowing that like these could be, I guess, my senior year, like these could be my last chances of getting after that national championship. So I just want to go out there and give it my all, and give my team everything I have left. So yeah.
Now keep it up. It's been great to watch. It's been great to watch.
Much.
All right. Well, I know you got to get going, and I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm looking forward to Friday night. We'll be watching, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Yep.